Hey guys, Will DTA here, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to create your own custom boot/recovery logo on Photoshop. It's very simple and it's very similar to a previous video I had on how to do wallpapers, but I got a lot of people asking me how to do this and I needed it to tie in with another video. Click on the annotation now to see that video. So let's go ahead. I'm going to run through it really quick to show you guys the basics of how to do this, and at the end, I'll give you a download link to download a whole bunch of cool stuff that you might want to use as your boot logo or to make your boot logo. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing I'm going to do is File, New, and I'm just going to name it Boot. And it needs to be 320 width by 480 height. Make sure it's set to the RGB color scale, and you can have it transparent or set to a color, whichever you like. So let's go ahead and start it up here. I'm just going to do a basic color background. Again, guys, when you do boot logos, not only do you want to keep it very simplistic for the reasons that it looks nicer when you have a simple background booting up, but you are limited to the size of the image. Not so much the actual size, but the file size. So the more stuff you have in it, the bigger the image file is going to be in terms of megabytes, and you're limited to 100 kilobytes. So you want to keep it as simple as possible. So first thing I'm going to do is add in a background here. So I'm just going to come over to my paint bucket tool. You can select what other color you like. I'm just going to do kind of like a dark blue kind of color. Okay. So that looks good. Again, you can always adjust however you like. If you don't like the color, go ahead and change it. Usually I do black colors, but I figured I'd throw a little color in there this time. I'm also going to throw a nice little gradient in. I usually do the same gradient for almost everything I do because I really like it. But you don't have to do that, so you can set it to whatever you want. There's several different gradient options for different sizes, different shapes. And you can set it to do transparent, or you can set it to do colors. But I usually stick with about the same one. But whatever you want to do, that's fine. If you don't like it, that's why there's the step backward tool. So you can always just click that. You can do it from a different side. You can turn up the opacity, whatever you want to do. What I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to actually just set it back to plain black to make it easier for you guys to see. There we go. And I'm going to add a small gradient. Actually, before I do that, turn the opacity up to about 35%, close to that. Okay, that looks okay. And for the most part, this is about as far as you want to go. You can add in another background image that has a transparent back. So if you want to add in like stars or some sort of abstract shapes, you can do that. You can add in icons, you can add in logos, you can type in text, anything you want to do. Really, the possibilities are endless. So I'm just going to add in a icon for the pineapple. You can get pretty much any icon you want these days off of Google Images. So I'm just going to set that right there. And again, this is a PNG file for the icon that I got off Safari, the pineapple. So it does not have a background, which makes it very easy to put into other images. That's why I love PNG formats so much. So that's it, guys. Again, you can put it anywhere you want, towards the bottom, towards the top. I usually just center it somewhere around in the middle. Doesn't have to be perfect, of course. And that looks pretty good. You can now add in anything you want. You can add in text. So I can just type in pwned. And there you go. There's your wallpaper. Again, you can do tons and tons of different stuff, guys. I'm showing you the basics of how to create this. Again, as you get more experience with Photoshop, you can create more and more advanced things. So let's go ahead and save this. I'm going to show you how to save it. So it's going to be very similar. Again, you're limited to the file size. So if it's too big, you're going to have to get either a program to compress it smaller, or you're going to have to go back and take some things out and try and make it a smaller file. Okay, so I'm going to set it to PNG format, and I'm going to save it to my desktop. Okay, that looks good. And save. Okay, so that's about it. I'm going to go ahead and go to Finder. And actually, I'm going to switch over to my desktop. And here's the image right here. And let's get the info. And it's 131 kilobytes, so it's a little big. Again, you can always find tools out there to compress your images. You can go back and fix things. As long as you're pretty close to 100 kilobytes, you'll be all right. If it's like 110, 105, you'll be okay. I wouldn't go over 115. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come back here, and I'll delete my text tool. And that's about it. So let's see if it made any difference right there. Save it again to PNG format. Replace it. Okay. Now, let's get the info. And that dropped it down a few kilobytes. There's a lot of ways you can compress images. Search on YouTube. You'll find lots of ways. Again, I put kind of a big logo in there, so that could affect it. But there's always different kinds of things you can do, guys, and really, you're not limited here. You can do pretty much anything with a wallpaper. So that's it. I hope the video helped. If it did, please rate, comment, subscribe. Again, there's going to be a link down in the description with tons and tons of wallpapers, boot logos, and other stuff you can use to create your own logos. So I hope it helped. If it did, please rate, comment, subscribe. I've probably said that already, and I'll see you later.